Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of our Blood Mage walkthrough. Just to recap where we last left off, we just beat the Circle Tower, got the mages as part of our war force, and now I'm actually going to head to the city of Redcliffe.
There are demands from the Banorn that you step down from the Regency. They are said to be gathering their forces, as are your allies. It appears it will be civil war after all, despite the darkspawn. Pity. I also have an interesting report. There seem to be Grey Wardens who survived Ostagar. How, I don't know. But they will act against you. I have arranged for a solution, with your leave.
The Antivan Crows send their regards. An assassin?
Against Grey Wardens, we will need the very best, sire.
And the most expensive.
Just get it done.
Okay, so as you just saw, Loghain, in the progression of the story, he just hired an Antivan Crow assassin that's eventually going to come after us, but we just had an encounter on our way to Redcliffe, and this is going to obviously be a fight. But if you look up top left, there's actually a mage up there. So before we get started, I'm actually going to cast a glyph up there, glyph of paralysis. And then when this turns into an actual fight, he'll, like that mage will trigger that trap, that glyph, and then we can at least prevent us from getting hit with a lot of AoE attacks, you know, just because they're at a height advantage and they're not being attacked. So, and we're all going to be clumped pretty close together for this encounter. So let's go ahead and do this.
Ah, a fellow traveler of the fair lands. Are you a seeker, perchance? My packs are light, but I have a tome of strange origin. The Deus V Eternus, rumored to be the last message to a sinful world from the Maker himself. I have no idea what you're talking about, and neither do these large men carrying swords. Get them!
Time for more practice.
Oh shoot, the mage actually did not, and I just got paralyzed. Well, this is not working out like I thought. I'll tell you what. Next best bet would probably be for Wynn to use Stone Fist to knock that guy off his feet for a little crowd control. We can use Leliana to use Dirty Fighting on Bayan Jom.
You forced our hand.
Now, I think we should be okay, at least for this. And now I'll use Alistair. We can use Shield Pummel on that guy. And dear Lord. Oh, alright. Thank goodness we did that with Wynn, because that mage was just about to cast Fireball. Oh man. This is taking forever. Alright, now that we're free, it's probably in our best interest, because that mage is still casting. Let's do the Glyph of Repulsion on the Glyph of Paralysis. I don't know how I missed, but I missed. This is not starting out to be a good episode, and Alistair just died. This is definitely not good. Man, I haven't played in a little bit. I'm already sucking butt. Alright, so I just put on the Vulnerability Hex on that guy. We'll do Drain Life, because it'll do more damage. We'll do Arcane Bolt. And now we need to take care of that pain. Let's put the glyph down slightly in front of him. Trap triggered. Alright, good. You know what? I don't care about Leliana right now. I have a vendetta to settle against this guy. How many other enemies do I have? Alright, we got 4. At this point, it's just going to be in our best interest to target the lowest of the 2. But I am actually going to put on Affliction Hex onto the highest health enemy, just because enemies, if he's afflicted, enemies that are around him are also going to suffer resistances being affected. Wait a minute, thought we had 4. Oh, he must be invisible. He must have went in stealth. Alright.
Yes.
But now all the enemies that are around this guy that is affected, they are going to take more elemental
And I'm
damage.
off.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, this may not look good.
Oh, right. Going. And I'm off.
An auto attack for the win. See, it's funny just
Let's do this
how
quickly,
you
shall
barely
we?
mess up, or like you didn't position, you know, a glyph correctly or a spell correctly, and then you can see obviously chaos consumed the party. But if you have any kind of crowd control abilities, or you know, if you want to divert one of your allies to go take out that mage, I would highly recommend that. Just because this encounter, especially on Nightmare, as you saw, didn't really go that well for us, but we survived. That's all that matters. Let's move on though, so we can go to the city of Redcliffe. But I think I might actually, once we get to the city, I'm probably going to end up just going back to the party, so that way it'll automatically heal our 3 allies since they have injuries.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier. Well, let's see. How do I tell you this? We're almost at Redcliffe. Did I say how I know Arl Eamon exactly? I'm a bastard. My mother was a serving girl at Redcliffe Castle, and she died when I was born. Arl Eamon took me in and raised me before I was sent to the Chantry. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose. Ha! Yes, I guess it does at that. I should use that line more often. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry. Oh, good. I'm glad. It's not like I got special treatment for it anyhow. Arl Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, despite all the problems it caused with the king so soon after the war. He loved her a great deal. Anyway, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as the Arl's bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence. I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall, and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming. And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that, I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man and well-loved by the people. He also was King Kaelin's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Oh, lovely. I'm going to regret this. Somehow I just know it.
Alright, so there's the big revelation that Alistair is essentially an heir to the throne, but I apologize for if any of you can hear like the snoring in the background. My puppy is she's out cold right now, And we have 2 dogs, but I'm just trying to keep her with me so that way she can get a little bit more acclimated. But, so tell you what, let's actually, let me see if I can quickly go to the party. Just to the camp. Oh, I can't yet. Okay, I guess I'll do that once we get into the actual city.
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us? The Arl? Then you don't know. Has nobody out there heard? He could be dead for all we know. Nobody's heard from the castle in days. We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying. We've no army to defend us, no Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead, and those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Ban Tegan, Arl Eamon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They're obviously not simple travelers.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainisfere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Ban Tegan, though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Still alive, yes, though I'm just as surprised about that as you are, believe me.
Indeed. Loghain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things. So you are a Grey Warden as well. A pleasure to meet you. I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother. Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault. Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdoch what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle. Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
Alright, now, this whole section, I mean, I think you could have actually, said, like, no, you're on your own, but, I don't want to do that, typically. Just the battle is just fun to do.
Blessed art thou who seeks his forgiveness.
Let's just go ahead and see if we can pick up all the experience points in here from the books and such.
Mother. When are the bad men coming?
Jeddah, I believe this is the woman that we found, or like a lockbox for her when we were in the Kokari Wilds.
You're a Grey Warden, right? Were you in Ostagar? In the Kokari Wilds? My husband and son went there to bring the chant of light to the chastened. But I haven't heard from them since. I am. You've heard of me?
Just a hunch. Oh.
I thought that might be the case. Thank you for telling me. Maker's blessings upon you.
Alright, there's that. But let's go ahead and talk to Caitlin. Her little brother is missing, and we're gonna go find him.
Am I bothering you? I'll try to be more quiet. Those things dragged my mother away. I don't know what happened to her, but I hear her screaming all the time. Everywhere.
How terrible. You poor thing. I wish there was something we could do to help.
And now my brother Bevan, he ran off. I don't know where he is. I'm so scared they got him too. You will. Thank you so much. Please find him.
Alright, one more quest. Let's go back out to the village. Now, you can just go ahead and talk to Murdoch. He is, like Bantegan said, he's the mayor of Redcliffe, and you can just go ahead and start the fight with as little preparations as possible. I don't really recommend that, especially on the higher difficulties. You definitely want...
more fish.
You want all of your, party, as well as any of the NPCs that are going to be fighting alongside you, to be as prepared as possible. They may not do as much damage, but it's just good to have more allies in the battle, so that way they could potentially draw aggro. I definitely don't want to be the center of attention, being a mage. But let's just go ahead. We're going to scout the perimeter first. There's just more experience to pick up, which we're just going to go ahead and do that. Increase our codexes and loot some stuff. And then we will go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and look for Caitlin's little brother first. We'll do that quest first. Definitely go into the general store, though, when you can, just because it will help with the defenses. Just by inspecting these barrels of oil, you'll be able to talk to one of...
Just like you wanted.
Talk to one of the... I think Sir Perth, he's one of the knights at the top of the hill. They could use that to help them defend at least the first phase against the, I guess, the undead. I don't think it's darkspawn that fight you in this area. Alright, tell you what, friends, though. I'm going to go ahead and save just because I think we have to persuade this kid. There's a reward you can get from this. And it's a melee weapon that I want to be able to give to Alistair, but I gotta make sure that at least I don't mess this part up.
Go away. This isn't your home.
Young man, come out this instant.
Yes, ma'am. All right, I came out. You won't hurt me, will you? I'll go back to the chantry if you really want. I can't tell you. It's a secret. You could. Alright, I guess. Father said I could have his sword when I grew up. It was grandfather's. And grandfather was a great dragon slayer. I thought, if I was brave like grandfather, I could use his sword and kill the bad people who took Mother. In the chest, in Mother's room, Father gave me a key, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone. I guess you're right. I should help defend the village, shouldn't I? Father would have if he were here. Oh, all right. Here's the key. I hope you use it to kill a lot of those bad people. I should go back to the chantry. Good luck.
Alright, good. We played our cards correctly that time. So just go ahead and persuade, if you picked up the coercion line from your skills, just to persuade that young boy into giving you the key. You'll just go upstairs, we'll loot this chest, and we got the sword. The green blade. To tell you the truth, I don't actually know if this is any... Oh, it does more damage. I don't know if this is any better. I mean, it doesn't have the passive armor penetration and then plus 10% healing effects received. Well, it does do more damage. Alright, whatever, I'll keep it. Alright, but there you go. You get the green blade, as well as we'll just go ahead and loot or select that bookshelf. Cool, let's go downstairs. And now, let's go ahead and see if we can continue to prepare the city for the attack. I think for this episode, I'm only going to go ahead and do the attack, and then that'll be the end of this episode, just because it can take a little bit longer. than I anticipate sometimes. But we will definitely do the battle in this episode. Who is this? Dwin. Oh, okay. So for this guy, I don't have lock picking, so I'm just gonna break the lock. This guy you can either intimidate or persuade by giving coins to. Dwin.
Wonderful. Intruders. I hope you have a good reason for breaking and entering into my home. Apology accepted. The name's Dwin. Pleased to meet you. Now get out.
Alright.
Surviving.
We can get this guy to
Supplies
potentially
last
help
for quite
us.
some time. And my boys and I can swing a weapon better than any of those fools out there. Why? When did this town ever rush to my rescue? You look more than competent. With you out there, they don't really need me, do they? Maybe. Let's hear what you've got. You might just be able to pull that off. Fine. I'll throw in with the militia. For now. You better be out there too when the sun goes down. I'm not fighting for a lost cause, you hear me?
Alright, there we go. So we just persuaded that guy, so we have even more help. I would really, though, just because of how much I use persuade or like intimidate, I would really recommend picking up like the coercion line from your passive skills. They're definitely worth it. I don't think there's anything else here that we need to go ahead and loot. But alright, let's go ahead and talk to Murdoch. And then he'll give us like even more things that we could potentially do.
Back from the castle, Murdoch.
So you're the Grey Warden, are you? I didn't think they made women Grey Wardens. We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either. Owen's the only blacksmith who can do it, but the stubborn fool refuses to even talk. If we're to be ready for tonight, we'll need that crotchety bastard's help. I'd appreciate it. If he doesn't help, he'll die like the rest of us. What good will that do anyone then? Tell them to maintain watch. I don't want a surprise attack before the sun goes down.
Alright, let's go ahead and talk to the blacksmithy, Owen. We definitely need him to start making weapons and armor for the men and women.
Go away. Curse you. Leave me in peace. You've already taken everything out of my stores. There's nothing left. Huh? Who is that? What do you want? I've been through enough. All right. Let me undo the locks. All I ask is that you don't make any trouble. We're out here.
Maker's breath. What is that smell? It's like someone set a brewery on fire.
Somebody's been drinking.
So I let you in. You wanted to talk. Now we're talking. Mind telling me who you are? The Grey Warden, is it? It takes all kinds. Funny, you didn't sound like an elf through the door. Can't say I expected that. Anyhow, my name's Owen, though you might already know that. Care to join me as I get besotted? Or is there something in particular you wanted? Why should I help Murdoch when he won't help me? My girl, Velena, is one of the Alessa's maids, and she's trapped up there in the castle, but the mayor won't send anyone for her. She's been my life since my wife passed on 2 years ago. Now she's dead, or soon to be. I don't care what happens to me or the village, or anyone! It'd do me the world of good to think maybe someone like you could go in and find her. Provided any of us live through the night. If you look for Velena, I'll reopen the smithy and make some repairs for the militia. I can do that much. Not good enough. Murdoch said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either. I want a promise. Promise me that you'll look for her. That you'll bring her back to me if you can.
We will do our best. Please believe us, friend.
I'll accept that. It's something to hope for, at least. Right then. It seems I have some work to do relighting the forge, and I suppose I'll have to find some iron. Maybe at the mill. Oh, Murdoch just better send his men here as soon as possible if I'm gonna get to all these repairs and get them done by nightfall. If you need anything done, well, just let me know. I've got a lot to do now, so you'll have to excuse me.
Perfect. Essentially just getting Owen to open up the doors and then just telling him that you're going to go ahead and look for his daughter. That's how you can essentially just convince him to help the militia in the meantime. But go ahead over to this crate. And there's a hidden trapdoor.
My hiding place. I stuck some old equipment in there before Murdoch could get his hands on it.
Just go ahead and interact with it.
I don't think there's anything you'll need in there. But it's hard to say. I was in a bit of a rush when I filled it up. Not if I'm going to repair the equipment they have. That stuff is old, anyhow. Yeah, let me open it for you. I have the key.
There you go. So we just get a little bit of loot. It's just more stuff that we could sell. None of it's really going to be of any use to us. But let's go ahead out now. Back out to the village. And then I guess the only other thing that we have to do before the battle is go ahead and talk to Sir Perth. He is at the top of the hill near the castle. And then we will have made every single preparation possible for the fight. And then we'll see if we last. Alright, there's just Death Root over there. I don't feel like looting that right now. As of right now, I don't believe there's anybody that's in this house or anything that we need to do yet. I think it's for one of the mages, like Mage Collective, the individual in this house. But I think there's a chest in here. Well, there's a bookshelf, so at least 50 more experience points is always good. Oh, sweet! Look at that, and I leveled up. All right, so I just looted that. It was a lesser elixir of grounding. I don't know who Durnal Garrison is?
Yes? What can I do for you?
Nothing.
Very well.
Alright, I'm pretty sure that's a Mage's Collective quest line that you'll just have to talk to that guy. But let's go ahead, let's level up Leliana. And I'm just going to keep pumping up points right now, at least into Dex. Because I do want her to at least do a decent amount of damage with her bow in the meantime. But I definitely want to get her the Song of Courage. It is a sustained ability for her that will increase, I believe, our attack rating, defense, critical hit chance as well. So it's a really strong, sustained ability that buffs the whole party. So whenever you have a rogue in your party, especially for like an archer like Leliana, I would definitely try to get Song of Courage for the Bard specialization. It's really good.
Anyway, it's not mine.
Definitely helps.
It has your name.
Speaking of Leliana, Andraste's Grace is up here. This is actually a unique gift that you can actually give to Leliana. It'll increase her her approval of you, but I believe it also will refer to her mother.
Windmill.
Let's go ahead then and talk to Sir Perth.
Greetings, Grey Warden. I am as relieved as Ban Tegan is to see you here. I must admit, I do not know how to address an elf in your position. I do not wish to be rude. Grey Warden it is, then, and thank you kindly. I am Sir Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now, my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the urn of sacred ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah well, with the Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost. We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered. No one told me of this. Oil, you say? How much exactly? Assuming that would hurt them. Yes, I see what you have in mind. That might be effective, if used carefully. Yes, excellent idea. I'll send some men to collect the oil. We'll use it to slow these creatures down. Have you anything else to ask me in the meantime? As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
Alright, right on. That's where we dropped off the oil, or like, that's where we finished that part of the quest. That's definitely why we wanted to go into the general store. It's just going to help with the defenses, but at this point, I mean, he did ask for blessing from one of the Chantry Mothers, or one of the priestess, and let's just go ahead. I'll see if I can convince her to do the chant. I may lose approval from my party members. Oh, shoot, and Caitlin, I forgot.
Bevan said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you.
Do I do the honorable thing? Do I not do the honorable thing? No. Yes.
Bevan told me about Grandfather's sword. So you have it then? I suppose it won't go to waste, at least.
Oh.
I have no idea what it's worth, to be honest. And you found Bevan. I couldn't ask you for money.
Okay, it's valuable. It's not that valuable.
Thank you again for Bevan. With my mother gone, well, I'm just glad he's safe. I can't thank you enough. The Maker sent you. I just know it. Thank you again.
Liliana disapproves. What? Alright, whatever. I don't care. See? Can't always win. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Mother Hannah.
You are of elven blood and a stranger, yet you defend a home that is not your own.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
For that.
I don't need a human guy's gratitude.
The Maker smiles on those who aid his children, regardless of their beliefs. But I do not wish to irritate you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am revered Mother Hannah, head of this chantry, which for the moment is a place of refuge for these poor villagers.
Surely this cannot be the entire village. These few are all who are left?
All those who cannot defend themselves, yes. They are terrified of tonight's attack, and I fear these walls will not keep them safe. What can I do to help with your task? I have done all I can for them. I pray for them each night and seek the Maker's forgiveness for their sins before they face their deaths. What Sir Perth seeks is something that is not in my power to give. Sir Perth believes that I can protect them against these creatures, a shield only the Maker can provide, and that I withhold this power.
Well, can't you just tell him the Maker will watch over him? Morale is a powerful thing, you know.
You mean you want me to let them think the Maker protects them in a real sense? I will not lie to them like that.
Alistair has a point.
I suppose their belief in the Maker's power could inspire them, but it just seems like trickery. Very well. If it keeps them alive, I will do what I must. I have a number of silver-cast holy symbols. Tell Sir Perth that he can have them, and that wearing them will confer the Maker's protection. Now please, let me tend to these poor folk. I must do what I can, and I suggest you do the same.
Alright, let's go ahead back. We'll talk to Sir Perth, and then that should be the end of all of the different quests that we have to do here, at least in Redcliffe before the fight. But like I said, I'd still want to go back to our party camp, just to rest and eliminate the injuries that our party members have from one of those last encounters. And then I think I'm also going to go ahead and swap over one of the runes that Alistair was using in Oathkeeper. That was his previous weapon before we gave him the green blade or whatever it's called. I definitely just want to put that that rune slot to good use, because I think his other one had +2 electricity
The Knights
damage.
of Redcliffe are ready to fight at your disposal. Have you spoken to the revered mother? Has she offered anything?
Must we do this? The faith that will protect these men must come from their hearts, surely.
If they are the same as the symbols worn by their priests, well, that would more than suffice. I will send some men to collect the amulets. Please give my regards to Mother Hannah for seeing some sense at last. As you wish, Grey Warden. Make her watch over you.
Man, Liliana just does not like what I'm doing right now. Alright, whatever. Now, let's see if we can travel. Can we travel to the party? We cannot travel to the party. Oh no, that's not good. That's really not good. Let me see if I can actually just leave. If not, obviously I'll just have to use a, I'll have to use an injury kit.
Where are you going? I thought you were going to help us. If you go, I doubt we'll still be here.
Alright, I didn't know that. This has never happened. I've never had actually left the Redcliffe city. So let's go ahead and save, just in case this does not turn out the way we want it to. But I wanted to go to the party. Party camp, excuse me.
The Blight. How will you end it? Is that all? It is surrounded by an ocean of darkspawn. How will you reach it? If you reach it, how will you slay it? You say you are a Grey Warden. I have heard stories of this order. Great strategists and peerless warriors. That is what we hear of the Wardens. So far, I am not impressed. Evidently not. It remains only to see what you are here for.
Best way is just tell him that you're not here to impress him. It seems to be the best way
You
to
and your friends
gain
are formidable
approval from
folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. I'm
Alright, let's go ahead. Let's sell a lot of this stuff. That's not bad. I think that should be good enough. Is there anything else? No. Also, fun thing to know about this is that in order to gain approval with Sten, he actually likes paintings for some reason. I found that out just by trying to give him like any kind of stuff. So
I am impressed.
There you go.
My
Plus
thanks.
10. He likes paintings a lot, and I don't know why. But it's one of those things that's like, all right, I'm just not gonna question it. But let's keep leveling Sten up. He's a really strong. Let's do stunning. Yeah, let's do stunning blows. If not, bravery. All right, let's do bravery. I really like using Sten as a two-handed DPS character. He's one of my favorites. But with Morrigan, I'm actually going to go ahead and see if I can build her into a blood mage as well as a shapeshifter, just because I did put out a shapeshifting blood mage build video, and it was actually really effective playing on Nightmare. Alright, that should be good. That's probably good enough. Now, at this point, let's go ahead. Let's talk to Sandal.
Enchantment?
Get the enchanting done for Alistair. So we can take that rune off. The green blade. Let's see what we got. Alright, whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point. 38 and a 34. I may. Okay. For at least this blade, I do want to give this to Sten, so let's just go ahead and put 2 runes in it. I think Sten only needs like a couple more points into strength in order to use it. And same thing, that's the only reason why I have the Blood Dragon set. It's, I think 38, yeah, 38 strength. I'm just going to end up giving that to Sten. It's a pretty decent armor set. But let's go back to Redcliffe. Yes. Hopefully it's not completely destroyed. And we'll do that fight for the city, I guess. And then that'll be the end of the episode. But we did do everything here. All the side quests available for Redcliffe. So I don't think there's anything else we really need to do. Oh shoot, Liliana doesn't have on her Song of Valor. So the Song of Valor, I believe it just gives a increased regen to mana and stamina for your party when you have that on. When you first pick up Liliana, she always has that unlocked, at least for me, it's always been that way. It's always good just to have on, especially mana or stamina management is key for a lot of the spell threaten and shield defense.
There is much to do.
I don't think we should do anything else with Win. Arcane Shield's fine. Give her a little bit more defense. Liliana, we'll just do rapid aim or rapid shot. All right, let's do this.
Well, it looks like Owen's finally doing the repairs we need. The damn fool is falling over a drunk and still manages to make smithying look easy. Good enough, I say. I'll inform Bantig and the militia is ready to fight. We'll give those bastards a welcome they won't soon forget. I hope you're right. We may just be village folk, but we're going to fight like there's no tomorrow. Are you sure? There's still time left if you need to talk with Sir Perth or do anything else. Then good luck to you. You'll need it.
They're coming! Get to your positions! Make ready!
It's time, men. Know that we fight for the Maker.
Why does the unnatural always smell so
Light the tracks. Burn these foul creatures.
Is that all you've got?
I don't want to do that. I want to do Glyph of... not boarding. Darn it. Glyph of Repulsion. That never gets up. Let's put on one of the corpses that have the highest mana. We'll do Affliction Hex. So that way everybody in the area around that enemy will be have lower resistances to the elemental attacks.
Yes. All right. Going. Push them back. Yes. Going.
At this point, it's really just going to be an auto attack fest. It's pretty easy, especially with that fire. They are taking, I think they're taking damage over time. But I'm not too worried.
Now we're going to
that Glyph of Repulsion is really strong, especially with enemies that get knocked back constantly. Dang, 84. That was a high lightning attack on that walking corpse. Dang, that was a lot. I've never seen it that high, at least like level 7 or 8, whatever the heck I am. seems unfair. Kind of ganging up on me, but whatever.
Another point.
Excellent.
Okay. What level am I actually? Oh crap, 9. Jeez. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and loot some of these things. I don't think there's much to loot.
The monsters are attacking from the lake! They're attacking the barricades! We need help! Come on! We need to hurry!
Alright, let's go. Let's put the glyph of repulsion here at a choke point just to save some of these guys. Because I'm sure not all the enemies, but I'm sure a lot of the enemies are going to be coming through that area. Now, it's really just a good idea to prioritize any of the yellow enemies, like the, I don't know if they're technically an elite or like a veteran kind of enemy first, just because they will do more damage, they have more attack, defense, so it's just, they're a higher priority target. Definitely focus on them first. The quicker you take them down, the better. Okay, so far. I'm just going to keep putting up the glyph of repulsion just because it looks like all of our allies are just kind of clustered together. Especially because we do have a lot of archers. It may be in our best interest to go ahead and just do this, so we can save as many of our guys as possible. I think there's actually even a reward that you get for not losing any of your soldiers. And as you saw, I used the glyph of paralysis there. I did that just because I didn't want to have that mass paralysis combo. And now that we are getting low on mana, I forgot that I did not select Blood Mage yet. I have the specialization, but I didn't spec into it just yet. I was going to change over to Blood Magic, just because that's usually what I do, but I forgot I didn't pick it up yet, just because we don't have really enough health. Okay, I may just have to drink a potion. That's fine. Potion. Glyph of repulsion. Right there. Oh, we lost somebody. Okay. It is.
Look over there.
See if I can. I think I caught one. This fight's not that hard. I'm sorry. It probably seems boring. You're just doing like auto attacks. It's not that hard. It's really just making sure like you can take down enemies like as quick as possible. But actually, Redcliffe is probably still going.
Right. Tisk tisk. Oh, I'll have to do so
the damage output when you do vulnerability hex followed by like I think I was only pulling off like 30 something damage, and then when I did the vulnerability hex followed by I did 65. Especially if they don't resist the vulnerability hex. This may be it. This may be the last thing Oh, Thomas! Thomas died. Oh, Thomas, your loot. It's so nice. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, let's see if we can loot all this stuff before it goes to a cutscene. Let's be greedy. There's more stuff to sell. Don't judge me. Alright. I think that's it. It is. Right on. Alright, friends. So it's just going to be a cutscene, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the episode there. So I appreciate y'all watching. My name is Chopped Celery, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Dawn arrives, and we survive the night. We are victorious. And though this victory came at great cost, we must remember none of us would be here were it not for the heroism of these good folk beside me. I thank you, dear lady. Truly the Maker smiled on us when he sent you here in our darkest hour. If need be, with luck we'll be discussing that with my brother.
Let us bow our heads and give honor to those who gave their lives in defense of Redcliffe.
Murdoch of Redcliffe, Mayor and beloved father, we salute you.
You and so many others who have perished here, walk with he who is your Maker. Long may you know the peace of his love.
With the Maker's favor, the blow we delivered today is enough for me to enter the castle and seek out your Arl. Be wary and watch for signs of renewed attack. We shall return with news as soon as we are able. Now we've no time to waste. Meet me at the mill. We can talk further there.